Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be visiting Metro Maples Japanese Maple Nursery out in Fort Worth, Texas. This is spring 2025 edition, and I just wanted to go take the time to go ahead and travel to Fort Worth to show you the beautiful Japanese maples out at Metro Maples. This is one of my favorite places to go out in the DFW area. You already know I don't mind actually traveling this far to show you the beautiful Japanese maples. As always, plant foldies, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I definitely want to see our plant community grow, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me. But before we get into the Japanese
plant
maples,
foldies, have you ever heard of this new soil called Classy Rabbit, which is from a local small business out in McKinney, Texas? Really excited to share with you this new soil, which is 100% organic. What I love about it is that this is a standalone type soil. You don't have to mix orchid bark or other amenities that actually make this soil chunky. It is already chunky, light, and fast draining. You can use it to improve your existing soil. What I also like about it is they are made by farmers, so they don't really consult like soil scientists or whatever that means. They really know what Mother Nature has in the soil. And what I like about it is I've been able to pot up a lot of my plants from overseas, and they have really acclimated to this soil. I love the fact that, again, it is 100% organic, and the ingredients that we have would be rabbit manure, composed food waste, pine bark chips, mycorrhizae, dried molasses, pumice and expanded shale, rice hulls, and yucca extract. So all of those ingredients really make this soil. It is balanced, and what I love about it is Classy Rabbit products are simple where it counts, smart where they matter. So that means all of the ingredients that the soil needs, it's right there. They don't need to add anything else, and they don't offer anything that they don't need. I also love the fact that Classy Rabbit is priced well, where it's a happy medium between the low prices of cheap, and when I say cheap, quality, and the high prices of unnecessary ingredients. It kind of balances it both. And if you see right here, I potted this aglaonema up in a terracotta planter. You can see how fast draining it is as I put a bunch of water into the soil. You can see that it is literally just draining through, but just because it's fast draining, it doesn't mean that it doesn't retain moisture. It definitely does. But I love the fact that I don't have to worry about adding any perlite, because this particular soil doesn't have perlite. It has all natural ingredients. So for those that have never heard about Classy Rabbit, please go to classyrabbit.com. I highly endorse this soil. I love it so much. And even though I've been doing semi-hydroponic substrates like Lechuza Pond and Leca, I've actually been converting all of my plants back to soil because of this particular soil. They do offer free shipping at classyrabbit.com. Let me know in the comment section if you're interested, and hopefully you will support Classy Rabbit. I mean, have you pooped on your plants lately? I would.
I love traveling to Metro Maples. You can see that it is a beautiful morning, and just seeing all of the trees, it just feels like you are going into a hidden paradise. And today I just wanted to take the time to really just walk around and show you all the different Japanese maples. I'm not going to do nearly as much voiceover because I really want you all to enjoy the beautiful sounds of nature. I'm just going to flash some of the Japanese maple names. So for those that don't know, Japanese maples are one of my favorite plants to grow. I've actually been growing them for quite a while. I am working on a Japanese garden, and so I have a lot of Japanese maples that I've purchased from Scott Hubble, who is the owner of Metro Maples. And every year I love to visit this paradise. I often go in the spring. Sometimes I'll make it out in the summer. I definitely will make it out in the fall because of all of the beautiful colors. I always encourage anybody that is actually wanting to see something a little bit more elegant, something that is is a little bit more refined to really look at Japanese maples. It depending on your grow zone. So my grow zone is 8B. I'm actually based out in North Dallas. Some of these Japanese maples are going to be a little bit more hardy, so you're just going to have to do your research on that. But as you can see, plant foldies, and for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. I typically do big box or plant shopping videos, but today is going to be a little bit different. And as I've asked all of our viewers and subscribers, I would like for you guys to just be a little bit more open-minded about looking at different types of plants, really looking outside of my specific niche. You know, when it comes to YouTube typically wants us to do the same type of content to fit a niche. So typically it would be big box or plant shopping. But as I've really dug in and really did some self-reflection, I really want to maintain that authenticity when it comes to the interest that I want to portray for our viewers and subscribers. And one thing that a lot of people may not know, but I will be featuring more of, is my love for Japanese maples, also known as Acer Palmatum. I collect maples in general, and I just figured if I live out in North Dallas and I have access to such a beautiful hidden paradise, I would love to be able to promote Metro Maples. And so for those that are ever going to travel to Dallas, definitely put Metro Maples as a bucket list. Now, this Japanese maple nursery is not necessarily open to the public. You would need to go ahead and make sure to email metromaples@yahoo.com, and you would actually create an appointment. I would suggest going in the morning because of the beautiful lighting. They are super knowledgeable about the maples, and if you are a maple collector, I would say rather than to order Japanese maples online, if you can afford to make a road trip out to Metro Maples, the plant pricing is amazing. And you will see that later on in the video where literally if you want to buy a specific cultivar, a 1 gallon is only $25. And to me, that is amazing. And I really appreciate the fact that Scott Hubble has continued to make Japanese maples affordable. We talk about, how certain plants become a trending plant, and that's really influenced by social media presence. And just as much as I want to hashtag popularize aglaonema, for instance, I also want to get people more involved in looking at Japanese maples. So for those that want to just appreciate the beauty of these Japanese maples, let's just walk around, and feel free to leave in the comments section your thoughts about some of the Japanese maples you will see. Typical care tips for Japanese maples are you want to make sure that you place them in an area that is getting morning sunlight. You want protection from the afternoon sun. Japanese maples don't do very well in hot conditions. They definitely should not be placed in full sun, depending on your grow zone. So for Texas, they will fry and they will burn. So you'll notice that there are a lot of live oaks over here as like a protection canopy tree. So you will see that throughout the Metro Maples video. And before I really just get in and stop talking and doing the voiceover, thank you to the plant foldy that gave me that constructive feedback. I definitely want to make sure you guys have a relaxing experience. I did recently launch a YouTube membership program where you will have access to more exclusive content for members only. I would hope you guys would consider hitting the join button on this video to join my YouTube membership program. It is only $2.99 US per month, so you get access to my personal plants, more content outside of my videos, and you would actually have a specific badge that you can actually claim during the live premiere chats. It's usually an aglaonema emoji. There's just so many additional perks to it, and honestly, that would just mean the world to me if you would actually consider joining my YouTube membership program, where you will become a super plant foldy. Shout out to Eric from Minnesota for being the very
for a super plant foldy. I really appreciate it. And so plant foldies, if you want to get to know me a little bit better, I will be doing lifestyle blogs where I will show you my food trips, some more of my interior design, some more of my plant content outside of big box stores, and possibly just premiere my house plant tour on my YouTube membership page. So please, please, please consider joining my YouTube membership program. Just press the join button. Again, it is only $2.99 per month. You don't necessarily have to stay on the membership program, but hopefully I will entice you guys with some interesting, unique, and exclusive content. So anyways, let's go ahead and look at all of these beautiful Japanese maples. I will flash the maple cultivar and even the plant pricing. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave that in the comment section, or if you want to get in touch with Scott Hubble and the team at Metro Maples, just email them at metromaples@yahoo.com.
foldies, you will see that throughout this video, we'll see a lot of different types of cultivars. For those that don't know what the term cultivar means, it means that these Japanese maples are actually grafted onto what a rootstock, and that's the reason why you have certain cultivars. For instance, this Acer Palmatum Fire Glow, for instance, is a nice, beautiful, upright Japanese maple that really holds its red color. Whenever you actually look at the lighting, when the sun hits it, it actually does glow. I mean, you can look at it right here. This morning light is amazing, and that is the reason why I would say going to Metro Maples is going to be a magical experience. Highly recommended. I know that the majority of my plant foldies, for those that are new to the channel, again, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. You guys are mostly into indoor tropical plants, but I hope that we can actually be more open about looking at these beautiful Japanese maples. That is a whole new world. I love the art of bonsai, which is basically growing a tree into a miniature tree in a shallow pot. And I would just say visiting Metro Maples and really talking to Scott Hubble, Steve, and the staff, it really just reinvigorates my Zen phase, where I just want to practice mindfulness and being able to just walk around this nursery freely. I have been buying Japanese maples and actually interacting with the staff for close to 7 years. It has been quite a long time. I am a loyal customer. There is a specific maple that I bought. This nursery, although it is mainly Acer Palmatum, which is the scientific term for Japanese maples, they are known to have many cultivars of what you call Acer truncatum, which is actually a Shang Tung maple. It's a maple that is native to China, where it is very much heat tolerant, drought tolerant. I ended up buying an Acer truncatum fire dragon that was basically a lopsided type twig, and now it is a beautiful canopy tree. That is something that I'm going to be featuring more of in my YouTube membership page. So again, if you want to join that membership page, please just hit the join button. It is only for $2.99. You will become a super plant foldie and have some access to all of my maple collection. But as you can see right here, it is a beautiful Tuesday morning when I actually filmed this. You can see that all of the colors of a Japanese maple, and there are hundreds of different types of cultivars. They just flutter with the light. You can see that there are some that are cascading and some that are upright. There's just different varieties. For those that are actually maple collectors, please make sure that you are pressing the thumbs up like button for this video, as well as subscribing with all the notification bell on, because I will be actually featuring Metro Maples more frequently this year. I believe that Metro Maples definitely deserves more content out there to get people more involved with just collecting Japanese maples, as well as landscaping, outdoor gardening, and just really celebrating all of the different types of varieties here. So I'll continue to walk around and show you all of the different types of cultivars alongside with the pricing. And as you can see, morning is probably one of the perfect times to visit Metro Maples. Definitely make sure you make an appointment. But with the thing about Japanese maples, what I appreciate is not only the structures of the stems, but even the stem color. You can see that Acer Palmatum Winter Flame, that was a beautiful Japanese maple because you can see that the stems were actually more of an orangey red color. And then over here, Acer Palmatum English Town, this one is for $195. This is more of a compact Japanese maple. You can see that it's got that traditional red tone about it. With all of these Japanese maples I'm featuring, most of them will require you, if you are growing them in zone 8B, to protect them from the afternoon sun. They prefer that morning light. They like light that is actually filtered. So if you grow them under trees, that would be the perfect ideal way. Now we are looking at Acer truncatum, which is basically Shang Tung Maples. Metro Maples is famous for having all of these different types of Acer truncatum cultivars. This one is called the Fire Dragon. So typically whenever you have a Shang Tung maple, the fall color is typically yellow, but the Fire Dragon actually has a fiery red tone about it, hence the color of the hence the name of the actual cultivar. Acer truncatum baby dragon is a another cultivar that they have. It has smaller leaf shape, and that's the thing about all of these different types of Acer truncatum. If you are a fan of Shang Tung maples, which I would actually suggest, so if you're ever looking for a tree that is going to provide you with really good shade, beautiful fall color, and just such a heat tolerant type plant, definitely consider getting yourself an Acer truncatum or a Shang Tung maple. Metro Maples has so many different cultivars. I am super excited that later this season I will be getting an Acer truncatum skinny dragon, for instance, where it has very narrow type leaves. I love the Acer truncatum baby dragon because it has smaller leaves. This would be in a perfect specimen plant to make into a bonsai. And today I will actually be doing some shopping at Metro Maples to find some bonsai material. That's something that I will feature on my YouTube channel. I know I do a lot of big box store plant shopping videos where I will feature plants from proven winners as well as Costa Farms, but today and in the future, Plant Foldies, I will also showcase the beauty of Japanese maples, ginkgo trees, Satsuki azaleas, all of the things that I believe is a refined way of growing a specific plant. If you look very closely at the nuances of these maples, you will see different textures, different growth patterns, whether it is upright or cascading, the shapes of the leaves, whether it is a robust shape or maybe something a little bit more elegant, lace leaf leaves and narrow leaves, just a lot of different textures. And even as the maples push out new leaves, they have different coloration before the actual leaf hardens. Highly recommend going to Metro Maples for that reason, because they actually have maples, whether it's Acer truncatum or different types of maple species, for a very cost-effective price. I will go out on a limb and basically say that Scott Hubble has maintained prices for more than 3 decades. This maple farm has been around for, I believe, 30 years, and they have maintained the same plant pricing. So whenever we look at the current economy we have, where inflation is perhaps a concern, tariffs are a concern, etc., where the price of things are a little bit more costly, I would give credit to Metro Maples. They have really stayed old school, classic, and just really maintained their pricing. Even whenever you buy plants from them, they actually handwrite the receipt, which I think is such a unique touch. I think sometimes, whenever I go to Metro Maples, it just reminds me to really be mindful, to really enjoy that nature, and just to slow down and really enjoy peace. to enjoy that zen. So let me stop talking and just show you some more of the different types of maples that they have. We are looking at Acer Palmatum, which is basically a trident maple. This type of specific maple species can actually take full sun, and I love the different cultivars that they have as well. I have a couple of Trident Maples growing in my garden as well that I will feature specifically on my YouTube membership page. So definitely consider joining that. I would really love to see even more super plant foldies. Let's go ahead and enjoy more of the maple selections that they have at Metro Maples. Whenever you visit Metro Maples, you'll see that they have a lot of 1 gallon, 5 gallon, and 10 gallon plants. You'll definitely check that out. And I am approaching a Japanese maple seedling. So when I was actually at Metro Maples about 2 weeks ago, I remember looking at this particular green Japanese maple, but there was something a little bit different. I mean, you can see right here, it's got a reddish pink tone as the light hits it. And then when you look at it closely, this is got a lot of pink on it, like pink borders. So this is actually an Acer Palmatum or just a Japanese green seedling, but you'll notice that there is a specific pink characteristic about it. This is not grafted, meaning this is a plant that's actually got this different type of mutation, variegation, whatever you want to call it. You can see that the petioles and the stems are a little bit more pink, the borders are more pink, and so I was going to buy this for only $35, but I feel like this could potentially become a future cultivar. And if I were to name this cultivar, I would call it Acer Palmatum Richie's Pink Margin. I asked Scott Hubble and his team if they wanted to go ahead and just grow this out for a growing season and see if they would actually be able to graft this and make this a stable cultivar. I mean, plant foldies, what do y'all think? Like, isn't that exciting that I was able to find a random mutation on this particular Japanese maple? You'll see that as the leaves mature, it ends up becoming green, but that spring color, that color that comes out from the plant where it has the pink margins is amazing. I really appreciate that Steve and Scott actually, tagged this and put Richie's Pink. And so I'm hoping and fingers crossed that I could potentially have an Acer Palmatum cultivar named perhaps after me, even though I wouldn't really take the credit. I simply didn't want to just buy this green Japanese maple and claim it my own. I just figured let's leave it to the experts. Let's leave it to the people that are most passionate about Acer Palmatum and really giving it a fighting chance to grow and be grafted. So please follow this journey. Maybe we'll see next year whether Scott Hubble is able to actually graft this and make it into a cultivar. I always find that really interesting, and just like how we find house plants, tropical plants where we find sport mutations of variegation, that is how you get different types of cultivars from Japanese maples. And you can see that the different sizes and the plant pricing, I think this is the best place, the most inexpensive place to find Japanese maple cultivars. So if you are somebody that loves Acer Palmatum, if you are somebody that collects maples, if you are somebody that is visiting the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Metro Maples is a must recommendation to go to a place where you can enjoy beautiful Japanese maples, beautiful tranquility, peace, whatever you want to call it. If you just need some place to where you can practice Zen and just be of one mind and peace, definitely check this out. I mean, you can see right here, there are still some Satsuki azaleas that are still in bloom. If you see my previous video of Metro Maples, the blooms were in full effect. So we've got a lot of blooms that are almost spent, but there's a couple that are holding up. And then there will be more Satsuki azaleas that are blooming later on into the spring season. That is something that I am also interested in, is just gardening, landscaping, and this place really is one of my dream nurseries to go to because it's very much interactive with nature. You can see that they've got all of these Japanese maples, Satsuki azaleas, different types of conifers, ginkgo trees just planted in the landscape. So if you're looking for like a botanical garden, this one is definitely something of that nature, but I would just say it's definitely not as touristy. It's definitely something that's a little bit more secluded, and you can really just enjoy the mother nature. So I'm going to keep showing you and panning around all of these beautiful plants. If you made it this far into the video, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I do also ask if you can leave comments in the comment section about some of the Japanese maples. If you have questions for the Metro Maples staff, you can definitely leave that in the comment section, or you can email them at metromaples.com, or you can go to their website, metromaples.com, and you can also email them. But let's go ahead and keep enjoying all of these beautiful Japanese maples. Cool. I'm definitely super inspired to grow more Satsuki azaleas and really get more azaleas in my garden. I have more shade this year than I did like 3 years ago, so I feel a little bit more confident in terms of being able to grow Satsuki azaleas or azaleas in general. Now, the thing about azaleas is that they prefer more acidic soil. So in order to make your soil a little bit more acidic, I always say use old coffee grounds and just mix it into the dirt. You can also find some more soil acidifiers, but I would say coffee grounds are a natural way to heighten the acidity of the soil. And the reason why you want to increase the acidity of the soil, depending on the plant. So for instance, use azaleas, it makes their root system be able to take nutrients and water more efficiently, which is going to actually promote better growth. And then you can see right here, we've got some more ginkgos right here. And later on in the video, I'm going to show you ginkgo trees because that is one of my favorite trees. Acer Palmatum tamahime, what a beautiful plant. This one will only get up to 2.5 feet tall, but will be one of those Japanese maples that will actually spread across. So it's always interesting to just see how the growth habit of Acer Palmatum, whether it is upright, dwarf, miniature, cascading. There's just so many different varieties, but I love tamahime. What a beautiful specimen. And this one has been in the ground for more than a decade, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I will say about Japanese maples is that they are a little bit more slow growing, but as they continue to establish in the landscape, they tend to accelerate their growth a little bit more so once they're established. But you can see right here, what a beautiful morning. Everybody, let's just continue to just walk around and check out Metro Maples. They have a phenomenal little koi pond as well, and enjoy just the beautiful relaxing water sounds. You'll see the mother plant of all the Acer truncatum fire dragons. This is the original Acer truncatum fire dragon, also known as a Shang Tung maple. What makes that interesting is the fall leaf is actually a red color. Most Shang Tung maples have yellow leaf fall color, but this is the reason why it's called a fire dragon. I mean, look at how massive the size of this actual tree is. I happen to have one growing in my backyard. I ended up buying it from Scott Hubble about 6 years ago, and it is putting on so much new growth. It is a very heat tolerant maple, and for weather that we get in North Dallas during the summers where it is over 100 degrees, these are actual maples, these Acer truncatum, that are able to withstand that heat. So I'm really happy that I have this variety that I can buy from Metro Maples. And that's the thing, if you are somebody that loves gardening, loves to get certain types of trees, or if you are a maple collector, a ginkgo collector, or just somebody that really appreciates outdoor landscaping, you've got to go to Metro Maples. I mean, this will inspire you just to continue growing plants outside. And I'm just going to walk through here and show you many different varieties of different Japanese maples. Now over here is another famous Acer truncatum. This is the original Acer truncatum super dragon. Now, this is a specific Shang Tung maple that actually has neon green leaves. This makes it even more rare because that is not a color that you would see on most of these Acer truncatums. This is why it's called a super dragon. It is a beautiful plant, although it does not do well in heat. So it's different than most of the Acer truncatums. You really cannot put this out in full sun. And like most neon colored plants, it does need quite a bit of bright indirect light, filtered light for it to maintain that yellowish neon green color. But either way, this is such a beautiful plant. It's been photographed by so many maple collectors. I would say this is another famous maple that everybody needs to see in person. I happen to love this plant as well. I had one, but unfortunately I sent it to Plant Heaven. And apparently for those that are actual maple collectors, this is what you would call a trending tropical type plant. It's one of those maples that everybody wants to get a hold of because everybody is talking about it on social media. So it's really interesting how that translates even in maple collecting. Now this Azalea Vibrant, I definitely want this. I'm hoping that Scott Hubble will actually propagate and have some of these specific azaleas for sale, because I am wanting to collect more azaleas so I can create azalea bonsai. That is the reason why I went to Metro Maples, is also to find some bonsai stock. In a future video, either it's going to be on my YouTube membership page tier for my super foldies, or maybe I might make it just a public plant foldy page video. I will be showing you the process of how I make bonsai, and we're just going to walk through here again and look through this beautiful section, which is basically the garden. You can see they've got some lions there and some really established trees that have been growing here for many decades already. And plant foldies, take a look at this. This Acer Palmatum Suminigashi. Look at the undergrowth here. It looks like one shoot just grew a bunch of this particular cultivar. That's really interesting because it looks like a miniature Japanese maple ground cover. Really love the look of this particular Japanese maple, and you can see that this one is really established. So for those that are not really aware about Japanese maples, unfortunately most Japanese maples are actually very slow growing trees. It takes a little while for them to really establish and get that vigor to put out a lot of new growth. I would say if you grow a Japanese maple from a 1 gallon container into the ground, it will spend maybe the first year or two to really establish its root system, and then that's when you start seeing a lot of new growth. And then over here I wanted to show you this beautiful azalea again. I mean, look at that vibrant red color. That is one thing that makes Metro Maple super unique. This is an Azalea Tilly, which I actually bought, and I will actually make into an azalea bonsai. One part that I will not be able to show you in this Metro Maples tour, and that's because I didn't ask Scott Hubble for permission, but he showed me the indoor greenhouse with all of the cultivars he has that are still getting ready to be potted up in 1-gallon containers, as well as the hidden bonsai garden in the far back corner of this nursery. I saw some amazing bonsai there. I may ask Scott if I can film some of his personal plant collection, but again, when it comes down to it, especially when I'm creating content, I want to be mindful of somebody's space. I definitely never want to overstay my welcome, and I really just want to show what is applicable and what is public for the public, if that makes any sense. But you can see here, these yellow blooms, I believe, are also some type of azalea. I'm not sure. We're just going to enjoy all of the beautiful colors. You can see that morning is one of the best times to go to Metro Maples. Over here, we have an Acer Usugumo, which is basically the bat wing maple. This is not an Acer Palmatum, so it's a different type of species of maple. And that's the reason why, you know, as far as Metro Maples, if you want to see some more unique varieties, aside from, say, Trident Maples, Japanese Maples, and what they're really known for is the Shang Tung Maples, you will see Acer Pictums as well. This particular plant actually is sensitive to being in full sun, so you really want to make sure that it is an understory tree, that it has some bigger tree to give it some shade. And then you'll see right over here, we've got even more maples. And I'm going to walk around here and show you some of the other plants that they have available. And I'll just spin around here and keep showing you. Now, these are rhododendrons, and these are starting to bloom. So this will be interesting to see what this looks like in about a week or two. I may go ahead and keep visiting Metro Maples and just keep filming content throughout the season so I could show you how the colors of the Japanese maples change, and how something as unique and beautiful as this always evolves in terms of just what the season looks like. And that's what really makes this nursery very special. You know, I have been going here for several years, and you can even see here, this is a large bloom Satsuki azalea. What a beautiful plant. And I'm hoping that through more exposure, more awareness driven to Acer Palmatum or Japanese maples, for those that usually just grow indoor tropical plants, you may be interested in maybe getting into the wonderful world of bonsai, or even growing Japanese maples in your garden. It is one of my number one passions in life. This is something that really reminds me of my childhood. And for those that have actually join my YouTube membership program. Again, it is only for $2.99 per month, and you don't necessarily have to commit like for an entire year. You are more than welcome to maybe pause it or leave the membership if you if you feel like you're not getting as much value from it. It really will not hurt my feelings. It is really just a venue for me to showcase a little bit more extra content, for me to be a little bit more personal, for me to show you my interests. So I really wanted to shout out all of the plant foldies that have joined the YouTube membership page. And I really hope that you guys will press the join button for this video if you are interested to see some of my personal Japanese maples and personal houseplants. I'm thinking that my houseplant tour will eventually just premiere on the YouTube membership page. It might just be that extra perk to becoming a super plant foldie. And you'll know you are a super plant foldie because whenever you make comments or whenever you're in the live chat, you will see an Aglaonema badge, and your actual name will be highlighted in green to really differentiate a plant foldie and a super plant foldie. Either way, don't feel obligated to join the membership because I will still continue to make free content as well. But for those that are really into my content and really want to get to know me more on a personal level, the YouTube membership program is something I would highly recommend, because I will be doing so many other contents where you can see me blogging about my personal life. I do food blogs. I will do just all sorts of different type of content there. I just happen to really start that idea up. But anyways, let me get back to Metro Maples. You can see again, I will feature these beautiful azalea tillies trees right here. I love that vibrant red color. It's very fiery. And, you know, as far as like red, I always believe that red is the color of passion. It's the color of love. It's the color of just fire. And it's one that really excites me. And I love seeing how it just complements all of this greenery over here. And as I continue to walk through this amazing, gorgeous Japanese Maple Nursery showing you the different types of cultivars and their plant pricing. It just makes me so happy to be able to show you this experience and take you alongside with me. I intentionally did a little bit less voiceover and talking because I really wanted you to experience the beautiful sounds of this nature and to really practice mindfulness. I know that I talk a lot. I know that I can be repetitive. I know I can be a lot of things, but one thing that I will say is I do take feedback, especially to the super plant foldy that gave me the feedback about maybe trying out something different and just really doing less voiceover and just enjoying the nature. So please feel free to leave comments in the comments section what you think about this style of video. What do you think about the panning and also the lighting? Because I would say my Metro Maples videos are probably my better work because of all the lighting and just really relying on Mother Nature and the beautiful sounds of Mother Nature as well as the visuals. So I would love some insight for that. And then also, if you haven't already, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. Perhaps we can attract some more maple lovers to become plant foldies and maybe plant foldies to become more maple lovers. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. I really love that engagement. And obviously consider joining my YouTube membership page by just pressing the join button. It's super easy. Now we are going to be approaching some more of my favorite type of plants. These are called ginkgo biloba. So this one is a ginkgo biloba american, which is basically a dwarf variety of ginkgo biloba. So we talk about slow growing trees. Ginkgo biloba is a slow growing tree. Here's the thing about it. They are considered living fossils because oftentimes whenever they discover, ginkgo biloba from like past time, they will find fossils of ginkgo biloba leaves, which I think is interesting. There is a legend that most of the ginkgo biloba almost became extinct, but the Chinese actually ended up saving it from extinction by actually cultivating it, and now it is considered to be one of the living trees, the longest living type of tree on the planet. I mean, this is a tree that existed, I guess, during the dinosaur period. So you are seeing something that's a little bit prehistoric, something elegant, something beautiful. And for me, I actually have a beautiful ginkgo biloba summer gold. It has beautiful yellow foliage, and the thing about it is it drops its leaves, so you'll see like a yellow carpet all together in the fall right next to my Shang Tung maple, the fire dragon. So it's just a really beautiful sight. My super plant foldies, the ones that have joined my YouTube membership page, will have access to more of my outdoor garden, the Japanese garden that I am currently working on. I am striving for something of this type of nature, but let's keep walking around here, and I'm just going to keep showing you more trees. Feel free to comment on the trees you like. Any type of engagement in the comment section I would really love. And if you guys want to set up an appointment for Metro Maples, you can simply email metromaples@yahoo.com. They're pretty flexible about it. I think they are closed on Sundays. They do open houses or open to the public on Saturdays. So definitely do that. But what I would recommend is trying to go early morning because, I mean, look at this. It's just so stunning. And you can see this is such a huge tree. That is a Trident maple. And I actually have a Trident maple growing in my backyard. Now, I'm hoping it doesn't get that big because it is massive. But if you look at these leaves, I absolutely love it. And what I love about Trident maples are they are able to withstand full sun. Most of the cultivar varieties, there's one called Bling Bling and also Michael Steinhardt, which are the neon colored Trident maples. Those ones need to be in shade, but Trident Maples is another tree that I believe isn't really used in the landscape. And oftentimes, at least in North Dallas, you will see crepe myrtles, you will see Bradford pears, but I would love more people growing like ginkgo bilobas, Trident maples, Shang Tung maples, all of the trees that you have been currently looking at throughout this walkthrough video. I hope you guys are really enjoying it. Now, as far as care tips for ginkgo biloba, these cultivars like more lime. So if you put garden lime around a ginkgo biloba, it's really going to make its growth a lot faster because it's able to take on nutrients a little bit more efficiently. And then over here, you can see that this is a tall ginkgo biloba, and I'm proud of mine because mine is actually that tall as well, but it's a little bit more full of leaves. And then you can see over here, we do have some more ginkgo biloba varieties. I will be buying a ginkgo biloba to turn into a bonsai as well because they have just recently potted up a bunch of these for 1 gallons, and for only $25, that is the best plant pricing. So if you are a landscaper, if you are thinking about, you know, doing some beautification for your garden, please go to Metro Maples. The staff is amazing. They have really good rapport with me in terms of just, I know the product that they're selling. I know that these plants are grown with a lot of love, especially all of the 1 gallons, at 3 gallons, 5 gallons, 7 gallons. Those plants, those Japanese maples are actually grafted by Scott Hubble himself and his team. And I really love supporting small businesses or just local businesses in general. I do believe that that is what we need to be doing, even if I do a lot of big box or plant shopping videos. For example, I've been showing a lot of Acer Palmatum blood goods that I've been finding at Lowe's. The difference between, you know, buying something a little bit cost effective of, say, at a big box store is you can see that these are the actual cultivars. It is not always guaranteed that that Acer Palmatum blood good you can find at a big box store is actually that specific cultivar. When you go to Metro Maples, you know that it is a viable source. You know that is exactly the tree that you're going to be getting, and you have more access to more plant care tips. Now, this one right here is a Acer Palmatum Mikawa Yatsubutsa. So this is one of the more popular type of Japanese maples that people like to collect. It's got very dense leaves. It's got an interesting texture, an interesting pattern. It's just a really funky tree, super slow growing, but it is one that a lot of collectors really love. And I think that it kind of is synonymous to the hype of, say, an anthurium in the tropical world. So it's interesting how, you know, whenever you get into a specific type of plant that you grow, there is hype for a specific plant. Mikawa Yatsubutsa is basically the most popular Acer Palmatum or Japanese maple that a lot of people want to acquire. But I'm going to keep showing you these large lace leaf Japanese maples. These are actually Acer Palmatum dissectum, which is basically the lace leaf varieties. These varieties are a little bit more sensitive to heat, and you can see the plant pricing here. Beautiful plants, very elegant. So I'm just going to continue to walk around this area here, and you'll see a grove of more Mikawa Yatsubutsas. Please let me know what you think of this particular tree. I am really curious to see what the plant foldies think. So I would love for you to leave a comment with a timestamp of this particular one. I wanted to buy it. Unfortunately, my funds are a little bit tight, but the good thing about it is Metro Maples is not going to go anywhere. If anything, year after year, it becomes even more beautiful because these trees that are growing and the plants that they're steadily producing just get better and better. And I am super thankful that I live in the DFW market where we have access to something unique like this. I would even say it rivals even botanical gardens. It's something that if you just want peace, if you want mindfulness, if you want Zen, if you want to have great conversation, and if you want to go plant shopping for amazing trees, you must go to Metro Maples. The address is going to be in the video description below. Again, please email them at metromaples@yahoo.com if you want to get in touch with them to make an appointment. Also, check out their website, metromaples.com, so you can see some of the pricing and some of the stock that they have. I love the look of this cultivar, an Acer Palmatum Rhode Island Red. It is another dwarf maple, but I love how it naturally grows like a little bit of a mushroom shape. I really like that. That is a cultivar I would like to add. This is pretty much the mature size of it. I mean, look at how stunning the red leaves are, and it's very dense. It's very compact. It's one that I want to add to my plant collection, my Japanese maple garden. And what's cool is Scott Hubble actually has these available today when I filmed it for 1 gallon container. So that's going to be $25. I'm going to buy one with the intent of actually potting it up in a bonsai container because I want to grow this as a bonsai. I really just want something very compact and very vibrant like this. Plant folies, let me know in the comment section what you think of this particular cultivar. It's one that I absolutely love. And plant foliage, you can see right here, Acer Palmatum Murasaki Kiyohime. That is another Japanese maple I actually bought from Scott Hubble. I bought a 7-gallon container, and mine looks about as large as this one. It is a beautiful, compact Japanese maple. It is perfect for anybody who wants to create bonsai because it has very small leaves. I mean, just look at how beautiful that shape is. It naturally grows like a dome, and that's the interesting trait about a lot of these Japanese maples is that they just have a natural way of a certain growth habit, and we're going to continue to explore that as I continue to walk around and show you this beautiful nursery. You'll see that this Acer Palmatum Shishigashira are also known as the lion's head maple. This is one of the oldest known cultivars of Japanese maple, and look at how massive that is. That has been growing at Metro Maples for quite a while, and you can see that they have several different types of cultivars here. I'm just going to walk through and just show you what it looks like for some of these cultivars and what their mature size is and what they just look in general in the landscape. Well, here is another type of maple. It's an Acer Subodiatum Komoi Nishiki. This one is for $395. This is a variegated Acer Subodiatum. Now, the Acer Subodiatum, correct me if I'm wrong, is also known as a Korean maple. This has wider fan-shaped leaves. Beautiful plant. This one right here, I definitely want to purchase because Scott Hubble actually has these only retailing in 1-gallon containers for $25, which is such a great deal when you try
to go find Acer Palmatum Kamoy Nishiki, that is a lot more expensive even for a 1-gallon container. So I am definitely going to purchase that, and I'm not going to make it into a bonsai. What I want to do is actually plant it in the ground, plant it maybe underneath my Shang Tung maple so it gets protection from the hot afternoon sun, and we'll see if I'm able to get it to establish. And then we're just going to keep walking around here, and then eventually I'm going to show you some of the 1-gallon containers that Metro Maples offers, which is what I would recommend for anybody that is starting a Japanese maple collection. So you can see that is the different type of plant pricing. Let me know in the comment section as I pick up these plants, kind of like how I do big box store plant shopping. Which one would you purchase? What you think about these particular cultivars? All I know is this: if you go to the Metro Maples, like this Red Emperor, so we were just looking at Red Emperors, the mature versions, you can see that these are only for $25 in the 1-gallon containers. It is very addicting. You could easily become a maple addict. There is a huge society of maple lovers, and I am proud to say that I am one of them, where I definitely go goo-goo over some of these cultivars. At one point in my life, I probably had 50 different types of cultivars. The majority of them I purchased from Scott Hubble and other sources, but this is my main squeeze when it comes to just buying different types of Japanese maples. I mean, these are very nice grafts, so sometimes whenever you buy Japanese maples from maybe online or to another seller, they may not be as established like this. And what I love about Metro Maples, and this is the question that is always asked, is whether they ship. They don't necessarily ship. They're very classic. They're very old school. And sometimes I feel like old school is got a lot of relevance, because it is one of those things where we are so digitally savvy that we forget about the interactions. We forget that we need to pick up the plant. We forget that sometimes we have to see the plant in person in order to really make a decision on whether that plant belongs in our space, or if that plant is really going to work for our lifestyle. And that's why, if you are intending to grow Japanese maples in your garden and you're willing to take a road trip to Fort Worth, I would definitely do it. Bring yourself a U-Haul, bring yourself a truck, and buy so many cultivars. I would tell you, you would probably want to buy like 10 cultivars, because as I pick up these plants, and you will see this, I'll stop talking in a minute, you will see just the different types of varieties. What you want to see is look at how established these maples are. I mean, this one would make a perfect Japanese maple pre-bonsai. I may end up buying this actual cultivar, but it's easy for me to spend a lot of money at Metro Maples. I don't mind it, because over the years, Scott Hubble has been so kind to me, has been able to just get me some of these rare and uncommon Japanese maples for such an amazing price. I mean, can you imagine that even 30 years later, they are still selling Japanese maple 1-gallons for only $25? Like, I doubt there are many nurseries that sell them for that price, and it doesn't matter what cultivar it is a flat rate for any cultivar. So really interesting, and I am just going to continue to walk around here and just keep showing you the different types of Japanese maples. One thing I will also say is, as far as when to plant Japanese maples in the garden, I would say early spring, specifically when the plant hasn't really leafed out, and also in the fall when the plant is about to go dormant. That gives it time to really establish its roots. And as far as Japanese maples, they like fast draining soil. They do not want to be in soggy, not well draining soil. They also prefer slightly acidic soil. So, you know, your mulch, your bark, your pine bark is really going to help bring that acidity. Now, this is one special Acer Oliveira. This one is called Hot Blonde, which is actually a cultivar that was discovered by the Nichols brothers, Matt and Tim Nichols. It was named after their Matt's wife, Hot Blonde. And this is one that is a new introduction right here at Metro Maples. I was actually tempted to purchase this one because this was only $45 and it's got a lot of height already. That's one plant that I really hope Scott will continue to propagate and actually graft, because this is another plant that is easily accessible, readily available at mrmaple.com, but not necessarily for the actual plant trade. That is one plant of all of those maples that can take full sun. So we're just going to keep showing you the different types of plants. I'm just going to show you the plant name and then just give you some
some shots of the plant or the Japanese maple, feel free to leave comments in the comments section. And if you made it this far into the video, again, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. Leave some wonderful comments for the Metro Maples staff. Feel free to send them an email and let them know what you think of their maple nursery. All of that positivity really goes a long way, not only for those that work at Metro Maples, but also for me, because it makes me happy to be able to share this type of content, this type of style of videography for my plant foldies. And I really do hope for those that have been watching this video that you would consider actually joining my YouTube membership tier called the Super Plant Foldies. Again, it's only for $2.99. It's the same amount you would possibly spend buying a bag of chips, but instead of a bag of chips, you are getting more personal content from myself. And I would love to continue to share more about me, but really for more of the Super Plant Foldies. plant foldies, can you believe that all of these maples that we're looking at right here, all of the ones I picked up, the different types of reds, the different types of leaf textures, colors, varieties, were all grafted by Scott Hubble. I mean, he's just grafted hundreds of these plants, and this area will continue to get full with more Japanese maples as they become more ready. And it's just going to be an exciting journey for me to really showcase the beauty of these plants. I mean, look at this. This is another beautiful cultivar right over here. You can notice that there's variegation, there's texture, there's a lot of things going on with that particular plant. And then obviously I am all about these azaleas, so Satsuki azaleas. This is probably the only place in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that offers so many varieties of rare and unusual Satsuki azaleas. Oftentimes, whenever I go to a big box store, I always highlight the Encore azalea, which is basically a reblooming azalea. Did you know that Encore azalea's parentage, the parents are actually from Satsuki azaleas? And to me, that's really interesting considering the Japanese culture in general. They really have a very refined culture. Whatever it is that they get into, it's a very Japanese culture centric base. Like you can think about bonsai, you can think about Acer Palmatum or Japanese maples, you can think about Satsuki azaleas, you can think about the ornamental chickens that are grown in Japan. And this is a reason why for me it is super important that I create awareness for some of these things. I mean, Satsuki azalea, if you don't have one and you're able to acquire one, definitely grow that in your garden. Now, they are a little bit susceptible to burning if they are in full sun. They're not able to really tolerate full sun. So these are, flowering shrubs that you can grow as an understory type shrub under like the canopy of a tree. They prefer acidic soil, and one way to actually increase the acidity of a soil is to use coffee grounds. Just sprinkle it on the soil, and that will increase the acidity. If a plant actually appreciates acidity, it's going to make it more efficient in actually taking up plant nutrients and retain water. So that's what you want to do. But you can see right here, I am going through some of these Satsuki azalea because I am going to end up buying one or two or three. We'll see at the very end of the video what my plant haul is. I'm really trying to stay within budget because if anything, I would just buy every single one of these. I mean, if anything, the reason why I would want to buy every single one of these is because they are very unique. It's not something that you can just easily find at a garden center. I'm really tempted to buy more red Japanese maples for bonsai collection. And then, as far as just the temptation, I mean, how can you not want to just buy every single one of these different cultivars? And what I love about it is they could make pre-bonsai. So some people say you should not use a grafted Japanese maple as bonsai. But to me, if the plant actually brings you joy, sometimes you can go against the grain and make it into a bonsai. So that's what I'm going to do. And then you can see right here, they've just got Shang Tung Maples or Acer truncatums. These ones are not specific cultivars. These ones are, trees that I would recommend, especially in a Texas garden, because they can take full sun and they're very much hardy in terms of just the heat. And that's the only drawback of a lot of the Acer Palmatum or Japanese maples. They just do not do well in heat. That is the reason why a lot of these plants tend to grow better in the Pacific Northwest. But, as far as Metro Maples, they're able to produce these plants even though we do get 100-degree plus weather in the summertime. And this particular nursery has existed for quite a while. If you do have any questions about the Japanese maple nursery, feel free to leave that in the comment section. I can actually send those to Scott Hubble, or you can just email them at metromaples@yahoo.com. Check out their website, metromaples.com as well. Again, this is a Japanese maple nursery that's not necessarily open to the public, but I'm pretty sure they could also welcome walk-ins, just depending on whether they are super busy or not. I would always say just create an appointment if you're gonna plan on going Monday through Friday. Saturday they are open to the public, and then Sunday they are closed. So they're very accessible in terms of just getting communication. They're very fast at actually contacting you back, and feel free to call them as well if you want to make an appointment that way. They have so much knowledge about these Japanese maples. I have learned so much from the Metro Maple staff over the years, and I would even say in terms of Japanese maples, so here's the thing. Indoor tropical plants, they grow a little bit more vigorous. They're a little bit faster. Acer Palmatum or Japanese maples take a long time to grow. You don't really see the full beauty of them until maybe at minimum 6-7 years growing into them. But once they start getting older and more mature, that is where the true beauty is. The true beauty is. I would even say the beauty of actually growing Japanese maples is it teaches us patience, perseverance, and just passion and love for these plants. Because when you think about it, if you buy one of these 1-gallon containers and you put it in the ground and then you watch that tree grow slowly for the first 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden it starts to create a canopy, you start to see more branching, you start to see a lot of that beautiful growth habit shape, whether it's upright, whether it's cascading, whether it's weeping. There's just a lot going on with that. And to me, even after being in my home for a good 6.5-7 years, the plants that I planted from Metro Maples when I first bought my house have really taken off. And year after year, I find so much joy seeing the growth and the progress. And I think that really is what brings us to plants. I think it's the passion we have, the love we have for plants, but also seeing the growth of the plant. I mean, clearly sometimes if we just want that instant gratification, we'll just buy a plant that's already fully grown. That's the same thing you could do at Metro Maples. You can just buy a full grown, Acer Palmatum bloodgood that's already like 8 to 10 feet. Or you could buy one from scratch and buy one for only $25 in a 1-gallon container and grow it and see it change its colors year after year. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section on Plant Foldies what you think. I know I haven't talked too much throughout the video, but I really did want to get some more of your insights. As I wrap up this video, I've already made a decision on what Japanese maples I'm going to buy, because I do intend to create a YouTube video where I convert them into bonsai. So you'll see that. I may end up just putting that in the Plant Foldy membership, the Super Plant Foldy tier. Again, I would hope you would press the join button. Thank you to those that actually became instant members during the live premiere chats. It actually shows you during a live premiere chats when you transform from a Plant Foldy to a Super Plant Foldy. I think it's super cool. Again, you will know who's actually a Super Plant Foldy because there is a specific badge. You will see an Aglaonema red Siam leaf that I created through AI images. So that was actually a fun process. But let me just continue to just finish up and walk through here, and then you will see at the end my plant haul. As I finish off this video, this walkthrough of this gorgeous Japanese maple nursery, I did want to go ahead and highlight this particular Japanese maple seedling that I discovered here. I was going to buy it, but I want Scott Hubble to grow this a season, see if we can graft from it and see if it will hold those beautiful pink margins. And this is my plant haul. So I ended up buying a ginkgo biloba troll for $25. I ended up getting a Acer Palmatum Rhode Island red for $25. I also was able to find another cultivar right here. This one right here is another type of Satsuki azalea. I think it's called a kanza, which I'm going to definitely make into bonsai. And then this one right here is an Acer subaldeatum komoi nishiki. If you again consider joining my YouTube membership tier, the super plant foldies, press the join button, and I hope you guys will also press the thumbs up and like button for this video. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and look at the videos on your far left and bottom left screen to see if you want to go ahead and binge more content as I create new videos for you soon. I will have another brand new video for you guys this weekend. I hope you guys enjoy this, and please share your love for Metro Maples by sharing this video with others.